Mate, I've wanted to do this for a while. Car guy talks to bike guy. You're a 3-time Australian Superbike champion. Forget my motorsports. I'm a bagger rider, right? I have been my whole life, and you're now racing baggers. To the Aussie community, what's bagger racing?
Yeah, the funny thing is, Mark, if we really dive into riding a bagger on the road, I'm going to learn something from you because I've been riding high-performance bikes all my life on a track, and that's it. Just from pure left field, I get an opportunity to race in America on an Indianu Challenger. Got over there and, man, it just scared the shit out of me. Like, you got to keep the bags on them, lift the foot pegs up, make sure I can get enough lean angle to go in the corner at speed. And then once these bikes are on the edge of the tyre, all that weight just gives you so much grip and so much feel and so much confidence. Coming into it, I had no idea. I've just been fully focused on racing a superbike for my whole life. I rock up at Daytona. It's Daytona Bike Week. There's about, I think, big. 500,000 bikes over the week. Yeah. And they're all HD and Indian. That's it. They just absolutely love it. You get to the track and you're like, holy shit, this is a real rivalry. This is Holden versus Ford of America. That's what it feels like to me.
I was blown away by how quick they were, how committed you need to be. I mean, these things are still moving around with bags on them as much as anything I've ever seen.
My first experience in a race scenario was Daytona Speedway.
A bank speedway, right?
A bank speedway, and I've never been around a speedway in my life. I had 20 minutes practice and then qualifying, and that's it. And these things do 300k an hour. The bikes are standard in the frame and the chassis.
So you're racing the same frame as my bike?
Yep. I'm getting to work with Indian motorcycles directly. And so when I get off the bike, there's myself and my teammate Tyler, and the feedback we give directly goes back to the development of the bike.
It was a question I wanted to ask you because they've done something with the geometry on these bikes, and I use the phrase a lot that where I look, the bike goes. I don't have to wrestle with my bike any longer to make it get down into a corner. Something geometrically, something works that gives me confidence to bang, and the thing falls into a corner, and I've got to say, I really like that. So maybe that is a result of racing programs, and it's very intentional.
I would hope so. If we can make this bike better all around, it's an achievement, really. Outside of just going and trying to do well and get good lap times, it's fun to be involved with the manufacturer and trying to make a bike that really shouldn't go around corners fast, go around corners really fast.
So Troy is a guy that has raced bikes since you were young. What style of road bike have you ridden all those years? You know, what do you ride?
I honestly, I got my licence last week when I realised we were going to catch up. I just raced on the track and I never really got on the road. No jobs come up where I needed a licence and I just didn't do it.
So you're saying to me you've won 3 Australian Superbike championships?
Yeah.
You've just won the American Bagger Championship and you don't have a motorcycle licence and haven't been riding a bike your whole life.
It's not right, is it?
What a talent. That is amazing.
And I'm getting older now and I want to go and have a bit of a cruise around. Yeah, 37 years old and just got my licence. So.
I've enjoyed the chat, mate. It really has been good comparing notes, I've got to say.
Yeah, likewise.
Mate, I love what you're doing. I love where your career's going. I love the humility and the way you're going about it, mate. I mean it. Hand on heart, you're an asset to the sport. So thank you. Keep it up. But as a couple of mates, we're just going to go for a bit of a ride. I did a series on the Challenger for Indian a couple of years back, and I said I'm going to buy one with my own money, which I did. That's mine. I love it. But I'm just keen after you race one, I want you to ride mine around the beautiful hills of Tambourine here. Yeah. I'm just keen to get your feedback. So let's just go and enjoy that, eh? Right, mate, so as a bloke that's only had his licence a week and you've just jumped on this big chunk of a bike, I'm intrigued. So you race this bike, but in race form, you said it's lifted up, it's light.
Yep.
How does this feel for a guy that would be wanting to ride one on the road?
Yeah, first time on the Challenger on the road too. Once I got over the intimidation of crashing Larko's bike, it's good. It's got the same characteristic engine. I can feel the acceleration, which is nice. I was hoping that it'd have that sort of feeling of torque. And
so that torque's there for you?
Torque's there. It ticked the box on the handling wise, like the feeling of the bike. It's confidence inspiring, which is what the Challenger is on the racetrack. My brain was telling me just to lean into the corners, and the characteristic was really similar. Because it was so comfortable, I didn't realise I was going to scrape so quickly because it just felt like the bike I was racing.
Are you saying you scratch my
I
pegs?
definitely didn't scrape your pedals, the pegs, sorry.
Because you're nearly rubbing your elbows.
With the race bike, I can get as much leaning as I like. I'm not an elbow rubber, but some guys do.
From an amateur, Troy, geometrically it wants to tip into a corner. You don't have to fight it. And you said your race bike's like, do you sense that on this?
Yeah, it almost felt like there was some kind of gyro doing the work for me. But the actual feeling of the bike was really similar.
So, mate, a couple of things I want to point out that I know you won't have on your race bike. And I love about this bike. You won't have that. When you want to have a cigar sitting up, looking around, very cool.
That looks good. And as a motorbike racer, not a lot going on up here. So all these buttons already confuse me.
4 speakers. And on this, we got this. Post Malone on the Challenger.
I'm going straight back to Indy, and I'll work on being fast enough to have a big enough lead to listen to some music.
Keen to get out and ride again, mate. Yeah. Keen to see you back on the FTR. I haven't seen that.
I have to cut you off there, Larko.
Why's that?
Because I ain't getting off this now, mate. This
Come on, mate.
Is my challenge.
Come on, mate. I want to see you on the FTR. You really like this that much, eh?
Look, I don't want to fire you because I really want to ride this, all right?
Okay. It's all yours, buddy. It's all yours.